raise your hands if you remember the early 1980s. You know, big hair, boom boxes, neon colors, video arcades, and Valley Girls. We cuddled Care Bears, and we puzzled over Rubik's Cubes. Johnny Carson was the leading host on The Tonight Show, and Steven Spielberg brought E.T. to the Silver Street. What do I remember most about the 1980s? 1982, when I landed in the hospital with a belly full of fluid. The doctors who were treating me told me they were looking through their medical books to figure out what was wrong with me. Words that didn't exactly fill me with confidence. And thus began my now 35-year educational journey. The lessons that I've learned work equally well for physical health and business health. Lesson number 1. There's a reason they call it practicing medicine. Doctors don't know as much as we like to think they do. That's why they use words from ancient foreign languages. Did you know that if you have an idiopathic disease, that means we don't have a clue what causes it? So what's the business corollary? Simple. None of us knows everything. We're all practicing all the time. The key is to surround yourself with people who can fill in the gaps in your knowledge. For example, I can ghostwrite your book or edit your novel, but I can't design your cover or get the book published for you. But I know people who can, and I refer my clients to them. Doctors do this too. I'm constantly being referred to another doctor with a specialty in this or that. You all know the drill. I've got a primary care doctor, an oncologist, a liver doctor, a cardiologist, doctors in LA, and doctors at the Mayo Clinic in Arizona. But all you really need to know is that sometimes I need to see another doctor. So back in 1982, the doctors think they figured out what's wrong with me. So what did they do to verify? Yes, they sent my records to another doctor. It turns out that I had a clot in my hepatic vein. That's the vein that sends blood from your liver to your heart. I needed bypass surgery, which obviously turned out well because I'm standing here talking to you tonight. But it wasn't exactly one and done. There were some lifestyle changes I had to make. I had to adjust to a completely sodium-free diet. That means no fast food for me. I won't be at your local restaurant ordering pizza or Chinese takeout. And brace yourselves, guys. Because of my liver issues, I haven't had a sip of alcohol since 1982. I know. Some of you out there probably want to come up and give me a big hug right now. Not because of what I went through, but because I can't drink. Trust me, I'm fine with it. In fact, I believe that there's a definite benefit to this diet that I'm on. I think it has helped slow the progression of my disease and also helped me avoid some of the side effects that generally go along with it, such as chronic fatigue. Now, I was 26 years old in 1982 when this whole saga started. But I was in my 30s before I found out what had actually caused the whole thing. It turns out I have a chronic blood disease. I've met many other people with this disease since I've been diagnosed. It nearly always gets discovered by accident. Occasionally she agrees with me. Sometimes she explains why that particular solution isn't going to work for me. We're all different, after all. It's all a matter of partnership and collaboration. Just like in business, we listen to our clients and customers, and sometimes we make changes to accommodate their needs. Now, I didn't educate myself in the early years. It was many years before I was smart enough to join a support group of people who are experiencing what I'm experiencing and can offer informed advice. Just like in business, networking and connecting with others can make or break your level of success. In business, a support group would translate to a peer advisory group, such as CWI's own Inner Circles. Now, I I've been remarkably symptom-free for the last 35 years, but my disease has been progressing. And whenever it does, my doctor sends me to, yes, another doctor. In 2005, she sent me to Kaiser LA to see another doctor to talk about stem cell transplants, which is basically the only cure for this disease. That doctor advised me to have a transplant as soon as possible. I was shocked. I said, wait a minute, what you're telling me is that I could have a quality life for the next 5 or 10 years without a transplant, and yes, perhaps it would be too late to have a transplant after that, or I could have a transplant now, which could possibly kill me. The doctor's reply was, you don't have 5 or 10 years. Well, as I stand here on the Sutalk stage, 12 years later, in pretty good health, I have to say thank goodness for lesson 1. Go on, say it with me. There's a reason they call it practicing medicine. Now, in 2010, they sent me back to Kaiser LA. This time, the verdict was, not ready for transplant yet. 2 years ago, I went back again. And this time I was told, because of my liver issues, a transplant was off the table. Wait a minute. I had liver issues the first time I came to see you to talk about transplant. Why are you telling me this now? I know. There's a reason they call it practicing medicine. Now, I can't tell this whole story without giving credit to my sister Susan. While I'm busy trying to decide that there's nothing wrong with me, she's the one actually who introduced me to the support group, and she's the one who pays attention to what's happening in the field. So she's always prodding me to go and talk about this or that medication with my doctor. And you could say that without her love, support, encouragement, and yes, nagging, I might not be here today. If you wonder what that has to do with business, what, you've never hired a consultant? I ended up seeing 3 doctors, all of them acknowledged experts in this particular disease. Sadly, they didn't come up with any miracle cures, but they did revive the possibility of a stem cell transplant. Now, stem cell transplant is a scary thing. The survival rate is considered no better at best than 67%, and that's without liver issues. But what made me decide that I had to go ahead and try this was what one of the Mayo doctors said. It's not a matter of if you get leukemia, it's a matter of when. So, what could I say? Let's go try this procedure and see if I have a stem cell transplant in my future. The only problem was, it turned out that I had to do 2 procedures. Because those Mayo doctors, who after all are just practicing, forgot one thing. The hepatic vein is integral to this particular procedure. Remember that clot from 35 years ago in my hepatic vein? To all intents and purposes, I no longer have a hepatic vein. It took the doctors so long to figure out a workaround that they couldn't finish the procedure in one session, and I had to go through it twice. Once that was done and the results were received, Kaiser sent my records to Stanford University, the transplant team there. They came to the same conclusion as the LA doctors. The transplant is not an option for me. And I'm not shedding any tears over it. As I said, it's a scary operation with an uncertain outcome. So my goal these days is to stay healthy, exercise, eat right, and live life to the fullest. Maybe I'll get leukemia, and maybe I won't. After all, the doctors don't really know. They're just practicing. Which leads me to lesson number 3. Don't get so immersed in your business that you forget to live your life. Yes, we all have to earn a living and pay our bills, but it's relationships that we make and the things that bring us joy that really matter. And we need to find time for those. In fact, we need to surround ourselves with people who will offer comfort and support in both our personal and our business lives. We need to educate ourselves so that we can make sound decisions. And we need to live life to the fullest. After all, as the saying goes, no one on her deathbed ever said, "I wish I'd spent more time in the office."